While the nation grieves the loss of those killed in the deadliest mass shooting in Texas history, some Democrats are using their platform to demand more gun control. But is stripping away basic rights of guns the best solution?
Here to weigh in on this is Fox News contributor Tomi Lahren. Hey, Tomi, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, as
You're
always.
Welcome. I know it's early out there. Tell us what you think of all of this, of what the Democrats, what the liberal media is trying to make of this, more gun control. It wouldn't have even worked in this situation.
No. The answer is never to take away the rights of law-abiding Americans. That is never going to be the answer. That is never going to be the solution. And all you're going to do is cause a bigger divide in this country for people like myself who really appreciate our Second Amendment rights. And like you said, it wouldn't have made a difference here anyway. If we're not enforcing the laws that are on the books, what is more law and more regulation going to do to solve the problem? That's what I still don't understand. The Democrats still can't explain it to me.
Meanwhile, the President of the United States, during his Asian trip, Tomi was asked about maybe it's time for more controls on guns, and this is how he answered, with something she wasn't expecting.
You talked about wanting to put extreme vetting on people trying to come into the United States, but I wonder if you would consider extreme vetting for people trying to buy a gun.
If you did what you're suggesting, there would have been no difference 3 days ago, and you might not have had that very brave person who happened to have a gun or a rifle in his truck go out and shoot him and hit him and neutralize him. If he didn't have a gun, instead of having 26 dead, he would have had hundreds more dead.
So, Tomi, what do you think about the president's point regarding extreme vetting?
Boy, I'm so proud that we have this president in office. I got to tell you, after 8 years, hearing someone like President Donald J. Trump defend our Second Amendment right the way that he did and as vocally as he did and stand his ground, I got to tell you, the anniversary of the election just makes me even more proud of my president. I'm right there with him.
But I think the place to crack down is we had the Secretary of the Air Force on yesterday, and that's the problem. I mean, our military has been slack in reporting some of the different individuals that have been tossed out and should not be able to have a weapon. This is domestic abuse, intentionally cracked the skull of a small child and then escaped from a mental institution. And this was never reported from our military. Sadly, I'm the biggest supporter out there, but that is a problem that needs to be addressed.
Well, of course it is, and that's why we need to make sure that there's oversight, make sure that there's accountability at all levels to make sure that the laws that we have on the books and the reporting mechanisms we have on the books are being enforced and being used. But I got to tell you guys, I grew up in South Dakota. I grew up out of town, and I think that there are a lot of folks on the coast that don't understand this like I do. But our Second Amendment rights we hold near and dear to our heart because it takes a long time for the police to get to remote locations like I grew up in and like areas of Texas. That's why we care about our Second Amendment rights. It's not that we're gun fanatics, not that we're rednecks. It's that we care about our rights and we want to protect and defend ourselves from crazy people like him.
And
yeah, you're right.
And don't forget the fact who came running, the guy who came running when he heard the gunshots. He picked up his rifle. He was barefoot. He was a former NRA instructor. It's all about gun education.
And Tomi, I'll tell you, growing up in the South, similar background, I guess, to you, I always knew my dad had guns. I knew that we were protected. If a man was going to walk into our house and put our family at risk, I knew that we were protected because my dad was not afraid.
Exactly. They picked the wrong house. Same thing with my household.
Yeah.
All right.